Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new run of Space Architect. Last time we basically went and beat the game. Literally all it was time. I'm just going to start a new run. Not that we're going to do much that's different. So if you don't really care, that's fine.
Find out about station mechanics.
Yeah.
Station
Uh,
assistant OS is getting errors.
s-
Reset.
so,
Power producing devices.
um, does that one even produce anything? Locate outside, will overheat. Producing, yeah. So we'll just demolish. That's one thing I always wondered about was, whether that was producing anything. We're just gonna put in our storage right there. Anywho, I'm in an interesting predicament as far as things go. So I've got games that I'd love to play. Timberborn, Timber and Stone is one that I've played forever. Would love to be able to go and play it and show you guys. It's an abandoned game, so not necessarily going. But going medieval isn't. That's a game that I'd love to go and get into. I can't. I can't get into any of these. Frost Train. Frost Train's a very easy, fun, game that I can't show you guys because my computer is just not powerful enough. So that is a limitation that has put a damper on things, and that's why I haven't really recorded anything in a little while. Something else. I do think this game is interesting in the fact of you start out as, with the ship, and the ship is literally, basically scrapped itself. It's gone to pot. And you can run around and you can destroy everything that is no longer working and get it all wrecked apart. But after you go and do that, you have nothing. Building there. Oh, you can't. You'll never have this be a ship ever again. This will forever be a space station because, it is no longer a ship. It just isn't. So Build, survive, food plant, survive, food dispenser. Oh, there you are. Survive, water purifier. Sure. So build all the things that we need to quote unquote survive. And then, you know, once we have that, we'll be quote unquote set to survive for an unknown amount of, you know, days. But that is my current predicament. That's also why I haven't been recording, or haven't been why I'm doing other things. The other thing that has been irking me is I'm not really one for going on social media, like let's say TikTok or Facebook or any of that stuff, and making noise on there. Mostly because who wants to freaking, you know, deal with my whining on there? Who really gives a flying fuck? Well, 106 of you actually care about that, but you know, let's be honest about that. 4 or 5 of you are family, so 100. Let's you know, be honest. I don't know how many of you actually even still watch my stuff. That's fine. Who freaking knows? I'm just a kitty cat and spice. Build station module. Yeah, we're gonna go. Now we can survive. We'll see if we can make things actually semi-pleasant. What's missing? Minerals. Alright. So there's iron. We'll zap that for a couple of iron. Yeah, that's there. Great. Do we see minerals? There we are. Iron, mineral. And there's an iron boulder in the way. There we go. Minerals. Yes. I forgot how slow things are. Oh no, the coffee machine is broken. So I don't go and do that, but I do go and watch plenty of social media stuff. And something that I've noticed, particularly on TikTok, see it some on X or Twitter, depending upon who you're asking. Doesn't really matter. The point is, you know what platform I'm talking about. So you see it, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay. You watch as so if you watch any content on the right, what you see is people on the right basically go and take something that somebody on the left has said, let them say their sentence, and then I need metal station, fabrication, furnace. We'll build a furnace right there. Brr. Do until X is in stock, where X is going to be 20. Food due until X is in stock, where X is going to be 20. Due until X is in stock, and X is going to be 50. Great. And then these are the dispensers? Yeah. Okay. So they should be auto-filling up, going and doing this thing, you know, over and over and over again. Got it. I forgot you gotta actually set these, otherwise they don't do anything. And this is an airlock, and we need a trading airlock.
Not enough resources.
I need metal for it. Okay. Okay. So we're just stuck here waiting. That's fine. So while they're doing their shtick, we'll just speed them up a little bit. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So if you watch any right content, a lot of the right content is literally taking something that somebody on the left has said and either disputing it, literally saying, no, it doesn't. Here's the thing that you're saying, and you're lying, or you're wrong. You know, not necessarily lying, because it's not always a malicious act. That's something that's always a thing. Is a lot of times when people go and do this stuff, they aren't necessarily doing it as a malicious act. So they're misinforming people because they either misread or misunderstand the language. For instance, it was the no tax on tips. Say it's on cash tips. Well, cash tips, according to Congress and all that other stuff, also includes tips on credit cards, tips with debit cards, tips with all that other stuff. So all that stuff is considered cash according to Congress. But if you're a layman, like 99% of everybody, I don't mean that as insulting, I just mean that as in a thing. You know, you hear cash on tips and you think cash is in the physical money, the paper money, papers and coins, not credit cards. And that's an easy mistake to go and make. So I don't want to go and state that they're all lying when they go and give out misinformation. Just like I don't want to state that people on the right are lying when they give out misinformation. We'll go in, no matter who they are, give the benefit of a doubt to, people until they prove otherwise. Some people actively are liars. We're not going to discuss that. We're just going to say, that's not important for this conversation. But that's what the right content is. It's just like, no, you're wrong or you're lying, depending upon who it is. And here's the thing, blah, 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 get pwned, loser. Which, I mean, if you're voting for that team, or, rooting, not necessarily voting, rooting for that team, oh, my team went and owned you because you're, dumb. Bleh. And, I mean, that can be fun for a while. It's not necessarily a ill intent thing. It's just kind of, woohoo, fun, snarky content. And, somewhat informative. We're going to turn you off because we can't upgrade our power yet. So we need to literally wait for power to go and charge up here. We're just going to fast forward. You guys can figure out what's going on easy enough. Yay. Alright, we're going to turn you back on. Great. It's going to eat into our power. That's fine. On the left, on the other hand, their content creators seem to be operating in a much different vacuum. I don't know if it's just they don't want to be associated with the right or what. But almost never do they say, all right, here's what said right person is saying. Here's them, this is why they're wrong. Get pwned, loser. It's, I make assertion of this, and that's it. They never seem to show evidence or proof or nothing. They just make assertions of, this guy says this, they're evil, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? They might be right. I don't know. Because again, we're not covering any specific person or any specific content. This time they might be right. This time they might be wrong. Who knows? Doesn't matter. But it's a weird dichotomy of the two sides doing very different things. And it bothers me because I would love if the left understood the right as much as the right understands the left. But they don't. There's scientific papers that go and prove that they don't. On multiple times, it's been repeated over and over and over again, that if you were to go and take somebody who's on the right politically and say, hey, describe how this person on the left would react to this, and this, and a list of 10 things. I think the lowest is 70% of the time they'd get it right or they'd get it correctly. They know how somebody on the left's going to react. Woohoo. I think one of them, it was like literally a 90%, and I think the only quote unquote reason why it wasn't 100% is like they didn't include the them losing their mind about something or another. So it's one of those things where it was a ridiculous spin on things. We can build that door now. Yes, Doc. Great. Okay. And with that guest dock, we can go and expand and get our tech tree going, and we can do solar cells. The fact that they have solar cells all the way down there is definitely annoying. Trade. Great. Poop. Because poop is the important part. Great. We're going to sell that. Gosh. We're going to sell those. And again, we still don't have corruption. We're gonna sell that. And buy water. Sure. Come on, we want tech points. That's all we really want. Just tech points. You're not going to do it, huh? Alright. Great. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to get the money and do the first whatever. And we're going to turn you off. And we're going to go here. And I think the first one is 10. Sure. Boop. Boop. Yay. And then there's 100. Okay. Are you stuck? Yeah, they just went froze for a second to go and figure out what the heck's going on. Okay. Hi. Trade. What do you have? You are waiting on something. Food, iron, whatever. Great. Okay. Anywho, we're going to shoot these and get a little bit more iron just because I know that I'm going to trade most of it away. Alright, on. Ugh. Are you serious? You froze? Okay. We're gonna stop for just a second. Alright, there we are. We went and saved and loaded. Hopefully that goes and fixes things. Anywho. Turn that off, I guess.
Space shopkeeper's dilemma. Waiting, still waiting.
Up on. Weird. Anywho. Am I recording again? Anywho, I was talking about the left-right dichotomy. The left seems to have a 10% accuracy of what the right's arguments are. And I understand partially how that can happen. I mean, if you look at it, basically all the news that you see covered is left-leaning. NPR, CNN, CBS, ABC, all of that. What kind of news do you have that's right-leaning? You have Fox. That, for most people, that's it. If you're dealing with somebody who's younger, who's more tech savvy, you have OAN, you have other things. The kicker is that literally people on the left think that a quote-unquote accurate representation of right-wing media is InfoWars. And that is an interesting perspective altogether. Because in order for that to be a realistic perspective, you have to not understand at all. Because InfoWars is essentially another version of Coast to Coast. And if you're old enough, you'd know exactly what Coast to Coast is. It's aliens and conspiracy dribble and all our stuff. Coast to Coast used to be something that showed up on public radio and stuff like that all the time with Art Bell. And it is its own genre of, I'd almost say, just straight up fun. But, you know, I can't argue with people about it because they don't understand. It's mind-boggling to me. But that's my little mind-numbing rant. I don't talk about politics on here because I don't want people to, not follow me because of my politics. If you find me entertaining, I want you to be able to be entertained. And that's as far as I want that to freaking go. I think that you should be able to eat popcorn and watch sports without, political shit coming into your stuff. I think you should be able to build utilities, fabricator, waste ejector. We're just going to do that. Because we are loaded with that. And you're going to do continuous. One of the people who I used to watch all the time decided that he didn't want people who thought differently than him to watch his stuff. And he literally stated that if you vote differently than me, or if you even think differently than me, not even voting, just straight up think differently than me, you are the root of all evil, and goodbye. And when I went and made this, I thought, I don't want to be like that. I actually just wanted to go and, play Pokemon and, build a module.
Alert. The expansion goal is suspended. Secure food and water supply first.
So I don't know. I know it seems like a silly, quote unquote,
Attract ships to
idea,
scan for
but
missing technologies.
it is what it is. And I think I broke this when I went and.
Why do aliens spill their tea? They use their saucers to fly.
Yeah. Alright. I have no idea where I was going with this. I'm just sad. Oh, now they're freaking starting to actually.
Attention crew, prepare for the grand unveiling of the solo spaceship.
Because stuff finally got done to. Okay.
It's time to start paying back your loan. Small steps.
Trade. Woohoo. We'll take all that. Great. Tech points.
Race for impact, or lack thereof.
Alright. So we're just going to go straight up to 80. 82, 80.
On the road
There we
to
are.
automation, microchips are your next milestone.
100. 1,000. Alright. So we're at reduced taxes.
We're in zero gravity. Well,
Great.
race just in case.
So tech. Scroll down. We're gonna do solar cells. First we gotta do this, and then we can do solar cells. Great. You
Not
build
enough
another.
resources.
We need metal. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna turn you off. Alright, so while this is going, yay, we're gonna speed up. Speed up time. Because we need 10 iron. One more. Come on. Thank you. Build another. Boom. Oh, that's corny. First saw you, I was repelled, but then I saw you from the other side, and you were, I was quite attracted. But I don't know. I've got nothing. I'm just.
The ship's coming in for a cuddle with the station.
Glad things finally freaking are working. Great. We're gonna turn this back on. Awesome. And we need to shoot iron. No, not that. Dang it. Yeah. Shoot iron.
Please keep all hands and tentacles inside the
Alright.
spacecraft.
Oh, we need ice too.
We don't want any accidental high fives when passing asteroids.
High fives for passing asteroids. Yay! Alright. So great. Mining laser is full. We need to go build another storage.
Not enough resources.
We're gonna turn you off. Alright, we need to go and build another storage. Not you.
Not enough resources.
Alright, there we go. Yay, that way we just have room to go and dump all this extra stuff. Good, 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 good.
Get ready to witness the majestic mating dance of the ship and the station.
Hey, how you doing? Goodbye.
Prepare for the graceful departure of this spacecraft, or maybe a not so graceful one. Depends on how much coffee I've had.
Alright, so they're going to build up water again and everything. Awesome. Alright, but that was my pointless ramblings. Until next time, you guys. Bye-bye.